And I want us to start from the flow of corporate news out of the market today. First of all, I'm hearing that UAC has released numbers and we see profits up 17%. How has the market reacted to this?
Well, morning to you. The market seems to be going north as we speak. Virtually all the stocks are looking up, gaining here and there. For UAC result that was just released not too long ago, I think the result is not so, so fantastic. It was just a marginal movement from a PAT of about 1.9 billion to about 2.2. I think that's just a marginal result, and I think by and large the market will begin to assimilate where the stock should be going. But I think that in the environment of global meltdown and lower demand, I think it's a relatively good result. Not only UAC is releasing their result today, we have results of AG Leventis coming to the markets. The same goes for Better Glass as well as Presco. For Presco recorded a reasonable increment in their gross earnings from, I think, about 3.7 billion to 4.6, while PAT moved accordingly from 1.55 billion to 1.64 billion. I think that's a remarkable result, given the fact that that sector is still receiving federal government boost in terms of agricultural boost. But I think by and large the market is looking up in most of all the indices we are looking at.
All right, so the market extending the gains of the previous session on the back of those results that we're seeing. What about Eternal Oil? I heard they also have released numbers, and I think that's an interesting one because that's one of the companies mentioned in the recent subsidy probe.
Yeah, right. Eternal actually released their result, and gross earning actually, shot up very astronomically to about 65 billion. But surprisingly for Eternal Oil, we're not seeing the bottom line numbers, moving up in tandem with the gross earning. I think that, well, maybe by virtue of the sector they operate, margins are very low, but I think too that the result is a fairly good one, and the markets begin to react to it, notwithstanding the fact that they are, still in the watch list of the oil subsidy probe. But I think by and large, I think it's an ongoing investigation and proceeding. You never can tell. At the end of the day, they probably could be, not be found one thing. But the market is still reacting to it, and the stock is still trading high at, 2.07 on the recovery path.
All right, let's quickly touch on Nigerian breweries. I heard that stock is hitting a year high recently to about 121 naira 87. That level, very interesting that we're seeing that stock moved so strongly. And what I'm hearing is that this really reflects the demand for multinational companies outside the non-bank, outside the banking sector.
Yes, what you're seeing in Nigerian breweries is simply the fact that there's a bit of flight to safety and investment. Nigerian breweries, have come a long way in terms of their track record, in terms of their earning, in terms of their fundamentals. Don't forget that they've been very consistent in their profit showing. The Q2 results that we all have as we speak, it's about 19.3 billion, up from about 18.9. That result is a very remarkable one. If you benchmark that on an outstanding of about 7.5 billion outstanding shares, that's a very huge earning per share by all standards. I think that Nigerian Brewery is, given the fact that only now as I speak is gaining 1 naira 89 kobo, trading at 121. This is an all-time high from a year-to-date of, up from 91 and a fraction. I think that the stock will likely go places. Given strong fundamentals, given its track record, the consistency that they have, profit sharing and all that. And above all, given the fact that they have a very strong, sound management team as well as corporate governance in place, it's a stock to watch. Anytime, any day. Yes, sorry. On the final note, closely related to that is the fact that Nestle has had a very remarkable, tremendous showing in recent time. It has had a year-to-date of about 500 as we speak, up from 400 year-to-date. Its H1 result is so fantastic. If you analyze the results, you're talking about 24 naira, per share.
Okay, so Baba, clearly there is very strong appetite for the multinational companies like Nestle and Nigerian Breweries, as you just mentioned. Thank you so much for joining us.